And tell me everybody, did Vybz Kartel deserve to be freed? Get this to the 1,000 likes. The DPP recalls Vybz Kartel trial. Me have some for play for his guidance at this. List to this.
Donald Zeke's case was very, very tough. As an advocate, I would say the current Spencer matter as DPP in terms of managing every aspect of it in what were very challenging waters, and as DPP in terms of supervising my office and as designated Central Authority for Mutual Assistance, I think the extradition of Dudus was really another very tough part of my career in terms of managing the security issues. I think another one was the Vybz Kartel case in terms of managing the security issues and keeping my staff safe and focused in respect of the prosecution of the matter. I was able to oversee the biggest gang case, the Klansman case. That is why I wanted the extension, and we were able to oversee that. That again was historical. No other country in the Caribbean. In fact, we are looked to with great admiration for our work, and we have done presentations in other Caribbean countries in terms of anti-gang prosecutions. We do the best in terms of mutual legal assistance as well. We're very admired by Canada, America, and the UK. My greatest regret is the fact that unification, where you will have a clerk of courts coming under the DPP, that is still at least another year and a half away from being completed. Right. So you will have one prosecuting agency, and the clerk of courts will no longer report to the Chief Justice, they report to the DPP. And we will be able to make sure that there is an alignment in terms of quality and deliverables to the public and the system as it relates to prosecuting. The Good Samaritan case gave me a lot of pleasure. It was a difficult case where these two young people, that one involved Elephant Man's brother and another. These two young people bumped into a motorcycle with his pillion and rider, and unfortunately,
this is part of the will in everybody.
They didn't report it to the police, and next thing you know, their bodies were found in a particular space and place.
Alright, so we're not going to waste no more time. The big question, how many people not think Vybz Kartel should have come out of prison? Whole heap of people celebrate when him come out of prison. There is a two-side where Vybz Kartel is concerned. And the DPP is now outlining while she's on her way out. Yes, because she's about to retire. You understand? As a matter of fact, you are supposed to know the new DPP by next month. Now that she's on her way out, she has some very telling things to say about how she had to protect her staff when Vybz Kartel's trial was going on in terms of safety. Now, she says that their lives were in danger and she had to amp up security while overseeing and prosecuting Vybz Kartel to send him to prison. Wow. Now, we have some more things we're going to share with that. You understand? Now, where that is concerned, everybody, I'm going to ask you the question again. Did Vybz Kartel deserve to be freed? Okay? Now, when he was freed, of course, it was a big thing. The world still celebrate. But you have some people, as a matter of fact, I can recall when some persons were saying that it is a dark day in democracy. And it is a dark day for Jamaica justice system when Vybz Kartel was freed. And that was evidently reflected when he went to the People's National Party conference. Or the campaign. Yes, because of course the Justice Minister Delroy Chuck had some choice words to say. See, he was asked a question about Vybz Kartel's release. He said that Vybz Kartel wasn't released because of innocence. He wasn't released because he was found not guilty. He was released because of technicality. Okay? Now what I want you to know, that there were certain technical factors in Vybz Kartel's release from prison. Okay? 1, he had already spent 13 years. 2, the uncertainty of a retrial. Okay? And 3, his health. Those are the 3 top concerns as to why. When they run the checks to see when the last retrial took place in Jamaica, it was from 2003. And that was last year when the check was made. So from 2003 until 2024, that was 21 years ago. Or 22 years ago. You can correct my maths. You understand? 22 years ago and it's still never approved. So when they would have given Vybz Kartel's retrial, Vybz Kartel, if that retrial was granted, Vybz Kartel would have came out of prison in a body bag. I'm telling you, if that retrial was granted, and that is why Justice Marva McDonald Bishop released Vybz Kartel. But anyway, the DPP said that she had to protect her staff and amp up security because when Vybz Kartel's trial was taking place, she can recall that there were certain threats allegedly that were made at her staff as DPP. Now we'll get into what she's saying. Did Vybz Kartel deserve to get released? A whole heap of people don't like him. A whole heap of people love him. Some people think him shouldn't free, while others are celebrating his return. It is nostalgia when Vybz Kartel walk out of prison. But anyway, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, says that Duddo's extradition and the trials of Kern Spencer, along with Donald Zeeks Phillips and Vybz Kartel, were among the most challenging matters she faced in her career. Now, Llewellyn offered the reflection as she prepares to demit office in September. She reflected on her time in office while speaking on the Cliff Hughes Online Thursdays. Now, Paula Llewellyn has faced many battles since she took leadership of office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in 2008. Now, she has been in the post for 17 years, the longest anyone has held the office. She was also the youngest person to be appointed to the office. Now, come September, Llewellyn will demit the office. She says she has built into a significant premier prosecuting agency. On Thursday, she spoke with Nationwide Cliff Hughes at the office opening of the long-promised forensic autopsy suite. Now, he asked her to reflect on the most challenging cases that she faced. Now, Paula Llewellyn was forced to take a leave of absence last year following a Supreme Court ruling that ended her term in office. The matter was settled when the Court of Appeal overturned the lower court ruling. Now, Llewellyn pointed to the historic prosecution of Klansman gang case as one of her most notable achievements. Now, the DPP says that she's disappointed she's leaving the office without completing the process of unifying her office with the clerk of court. Meanwhile, Ms. Llewellyn says that in 2012, the Good Samaritan case is one matter that gave her the most satisfaction as a prosecutor. Okay, not only that, the Vybz Kartel's trial also. Now, she point out that many other cases has given her, of course, a challenge, which includes the pressure of amping up safety for her staff. Okay, now she says that a couple had gone, and this is a different trial, had gone to Everdale in St. Andrew to deliver medical supplies to Andre Ennis and another man who were involved in an accident with Mackenzie. Their bodies were found with them head bust off in bushes in Mount Salus near Smokyvale in St. Andrew on November 9, 2007. Okay, yes, that's one of the cases. Now, George Copper, the pillion rider, injured during the accident, pleaded guilty and later testified for the prosecution against Ennis Passmore Mullings, who was also charged for murder and kidnapping of the couple. Okay, yes, notably. Now, I will say this, I knew many persons' opinion were saying that there was an obsession with Paula Llewellyn and Vybz Kartel's case. Yes, many people did say she was obsessed. As a matter of fact, they were saying that she wouldn't have rested, or no stones would have left unturned for her to send Kartel to prison. You understand? It was her longest dream, her long life dream. Now, of course, I knew, she never get the result that she wanted in having him, walk free. You understand? But don't think that for a long shot that she didn't want. She succeeded in sending Vybz Kartel to prison, very much so, for 13 years of his life. Yeah, so it's a win-win. Drop a like on the video, share the video with my people. Guidance Saturdays continues, and tell me, did Vybz Kartel deserve to get released? We have more to come down, gonna way I will be back.